All right, so lesson 3.3 for geometry is constructing parallel and perpendicular lines. So you need your compass and maybe your, like I said, probably your protractor so you have that straight edge as well, or a ruler. Either one will work. Okay, so first of all, we talked about the converse of the corresponding angle postulate in our warm-up today. Suggests that a line can be constructed parallel to a given line by constructing congruent corresponding angles. Okay, so if we have congruent corresponding angles, we know the lines are parallel. So we're going to do some constructions today. The first one we're going to do is a parallel line through a point. So we are given line K and a point A that's not on that line. We want to construct a line through A parallel to K. To do that, we're going to draw a line through A that intersects K. All right, so that doesn't sound too bad, right? Just draw a line through there that intersects. So you need your straight edge and a line that intersects.
Does it have to be straight? Or can it be like anyway?
It could be anyway. Okay. And then we're going to construct a corresponding angle to congruent to angle 1. All right, so using your fixed compass width. All right, well, time out. Back up. I shouldn't have drawn my line. What was I thinking? I'm sorry. You're not sorry? Okay, good. All right. So first of all, using a fixed compass width. Okay, so we're going to keep it fixed in there. I'm going to make mine a little smaller. That should be good. Yeah. Okay. We're going to place the point on point A and draw two arcs that intersect K. So I'm going to turn my paper to get my two arcs, and I keep my point. Okay, and I'm going to label those B and C for simplicity's sake. And then we're going to keep that fixed compass width. We're going to draw intersecting arcs from B and C down here, so we have a point. We can get a point for intersection. So I'm going to draw. Okay, so I kept the same width. Okay, and then I'm going to move it over to B, and I'm going to draw an intersecting line. And then I can use my straight edge to connect A to this other one.
How do you do it? Make the X?
Okay, so to make the X, so I take that same distance that I used to make these arcs. Okay, but now I move the point down to those arcs. And so I'm going to make one that way, and then when I move to the other point to B, and then I make the arc they intersect. Time out. I am doing construction 7. I was like, this is not going to get me a parallel line. This got me a perpendicular line. So I am so terribly sorry. Just draw a line, right? Because you don't want to have to redo it, do you?
What?
I said, do you want to have to redo it?
Redo what?
I just did construction 7 on construction 6.
I don't care.
Okay.
So do you want to redo this in the right place on your notes, or you just want to draw a line? Okay, so this is your perpendicular lines, right? Like those don't look parallel. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, so that is your perpendicular line. And so to make sure we know it's perpendicular, you could even put a 90-degree notation in there. Goodness gracious me. Okay, so construction 6 is going to be down here. So I drew a circle for down here. Like I said, I'm so sorry. I'm not with it today. So for this one, it does say, we are going to follow the directions. Draw a line through A that intersects K. And yes, it doesn't have to be a perpendicular line. So just any line that you want. Okay. Since I started off okay and then had perpendicular on my mind. All right. Next, it says construct a corresponding angle 2 congruent to angle 1. So this is angle 1 right here. Let's label this angle 1. So now I need a congruent angle. All right. So we can go back to construction 3 in section 1.8 if you don't remember how to do that. Do you remember how to do the angles?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Can you walk me through it?
No.
What? Okay. So to get those congruent angles, we again have our protractor and we're going to mark, make this a little smaller maybe. Okay, so we need an arc on your angle here. Okay, so we put a mark, we mark our angle. Whoops.
Got that Pina Colada song in my head now.
I have the 13 original callings stuck in my head from talking.
Okay,
Lucas, what song do you have stuck in your head? You always do be hungry.
and so then from there we should be able to make a mark up here.
What are we doing?
Do I need to pause? Hold on. Okay, so I'm going to start over on this construction 6. So I erased that. Sorry, I'm walking this through for Lauren. Okay, so to copy the angle, all right, so we have this angle 1. The first thing we need to do is just make an arc, like pick a width and make an arc across there. So we have like that measuring stick, kind of.
Just pick a random width, right?
Yep, just pick a random width and get your arc across both of them. Okay. Now you want to maintain the width of your compass, okay, and place it on its point on X. So if we would call this point X, we can put it here, all right, and we can make another arc. That's going to go up and intersect that line because we're going to get a parallel line. Okay. So we made it, we put the point on the angle 1, and now you went ahead and used this point up here of intersection and we made another arc because we're trying to get a parallel line. All right, now if we maintain the width, or then we should have, okay, if we maintain the width of that compass, okay, we can go back to, so we can go to the point down here where we had our intersection, and we can make an arc there on our congruent or corresponding angle, and that should give us 2 points. So we have this point and we have this point. So now we can draw our parallel line. How do I do what? Say that again?
The little point I was trying to get out.
This one?
Yes.
Okay. So I put the point of my compass on this intersection of angle A, or angle 1, sorry, and made the intersection there. Right, because we had the first intersection here, and then we went up to this point and we made our arc, and now we need to come to this point and make our other arc so we know where it intersects. And then we can draw our, line up those intersections and make our line that's parallel, and we should denote that these are parallel. Yours didn't turn out parallel?
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, they did. Okay.
Sorry,
I understand now.
they were sideways.
Mine are parallel.
Okay.
That's parallel.
How are we feeling about that?
Good.
Good? You don't want to do it again?
Never.
Never, huh? That bad. Okay, we already did our perpendicular one since I got us out of order. Okay, so construction days can be kind of fun. You know, it's not terrible. All right, construction 8 is a 45-degree angle. Yikes. Okay, so we're still given a line and a point outside of the line. And in order to construct a 45-degree angle, we're going to construct a perpendicular to get a right angle, and then we're going to bisect it. Okay, so how did we get the perpendicular one? That was construction 7. I did it out of order. Do you remember? Because we need a point down here in the middle.
So we're doing construction 6? No.
Construction 8. But it's, so we have to construct, though we have to construct a perpendicular, which is what we did.
Did what we did for 6.
Which is what we did for 6. Yes.
So like, did you call that again?
Okay. So, all right. So we start at the point. I'll make this a little wider here. Okay. We started our point, and we're going to make an arc on the line on both sides of the line. Are we good there? Okay. It's true. Mine don't always either. All right. And then we move our point to each of those arcs because we need the point of intersection below the line. A lot of times you'll notice I move my paper and not my hand, not the compass. Okay, so are we good with our point of intersection below?
Yeah, huh?
Lucas, you got it? Okay, and then we can use our right or our straight edge to connect those points.
Oh, this is what we did for 7.
This is. But this is how we construct a 45-degree angle, is we construct a perpendicular to get a right angle, and then we bisect one right angle. Okay. So, are you ready now to bisect? Okay. So,
That was a rhetorical question.
I like it. So I'm going to make mine a little bit smaller. That way my angles, my arcs are in different places.
Why would you make
Or you can make it bigger. I'm just going to change my fixed, I'm just going to change the fixed width. You can make it smaller or bigger, just so your arcs are in different places. Oh, okay. I got to make mine a little smaller still. Okay. So I'm going to make an arc. I'm going to bisect this angle up here, the top right. Okay. So I'm going to make an arc on, if I could get my, I'm going to have to turn my paper here. I'm going to make an arc on both sides. Okay. So I just made this arc and this arc. Okay. Maybe I should, if I had a different, how about this? Let me, I thought I had a colored pen. I can't find it. Oh, here we go. Okay, so let me, my old arcs, I'm going to mark out as blue. Okay, I'm going to trace them in blue. Okay, so those are the arcs that I needed to make my perpendicular line. Now I'm going to bisect this. So I made this new arc. So I put my point here, and I put an arc on my x-axis essentially and the y-axis. Now, we're going to go to each of those points and make an arc in the middle that intersects. We're going to have to get this intersecting arc, so I'm going to make it kind of big, from each of those points to know where my bisector is. Right? So I went to this intersection and made an arc out in space because it's a bisector, so I want a line coming out through here. And I went over to this arc and made an arc in space that intersected that one. So now I can have a 45-degree angle. If I go from this, my origin kind of out to that point of intersection, I got a little off. Hopefully yours is better in the center. But this would be a 45-degree angle, and this would be a 45-degree angle. Because we made a right angle, right? We made perpendicular lines, and then we bisected it. We cut it in half.
Like that? Question mark?
Yeah, looks good.
Then you know what I was doing the whole time, huh?
Then we have one more construction today.
I said probably because you have your map. So.
How we doing? Caden, you got it?
Yeah.
Lucas, you got it? Okay. Last one
Got it so well, I don't think we need to do homework.
is to construct a 30-degree angle. Let's look at this. It says construct a 30-degree angle. It is impossible with a 90-degree angle because we don't know how to cut it in thirds. To construct it, right? With the protract, construct means we're just using the protractor and the compass. So it's impossible. However, we can bisect an angle of an equilateral triangle. Fun stuff.
What?
Yeah, right? Because an equilateral triangle, a triangle is 180 degrees. Okay, so that means every angle, 180 divided by 3, because there's 3 angles in a triangle, every angle is 60. So the only way to get a 30-degree angle is to bisect an equilateral triangle angle. Because the way we get a, right, we have to make one first. So we have to get a 60-degree angle. To get a 60-degree angle, we construct an equilateral triangle. Because then every angle is 60 degrees. And then we can bisect that to get a 30-degree angle. Right? It's crazy, I get it. Okay, so in order to do the 30-degree angle, we're going to do an equilateral triangle. And we don't actually have to do a 30. We're not going to do that today. We're just going to do a triangle. Okay, so we've got an equilateral triangle we're going to construct given segment XY. And our construction is to construct an equilateral triangle with sides of length XY. So, we want a fixed length XY intersecting the arcs from 2 points. So let's measure XY. So from X, measure it out there with your protractor. Okay. There's my XY. You guys got yours measured?
Yep.
Okay. All right. And I'm going to make my triangle go down here. So I'm going to leave it on X and make my arc at the bottom. Whoops, it slid off of it. Okay, there it goes. All right. And then I'm going to move my point to Y and I'm going to have an intersecting arc. Okay. So maybe I'll call that XY Z. And then I just draw lines from X to my point of intersection, and then from Y to my point of intersection. Was that so easy? All right, so this is an equilateral triangle. All my sides should be the length of XY, and you can check them, XY and XY. Ta-da! Which means that every angle in here is also equal angular, or 60 degrees.
So if all 3 sides are equal, all the angles are equal?
Correct. Yep, and that's with any shape, any polygon. If all the sides are equal, then all the angles have to be equal. Okay, so then on your own, I want you to construct a 120-degree angle 2 different ways. Construct a 120-degree angle 2 different ways. And so we can actually talk about this. I'm cool with that.
Please.
Okay, so what are some ways that you think of a 120-degree angle?
Fat and large.
Fat and large.
Bigger than 110?
Obtuse.
Bigger than 110?
So it's more than a 90-degree angle, but less than a 180-degree angle. Oh, so it's in the middle. It'd be in the middle of a 90-degree and 180.
It'd be in the middle of a 90-degree and a 180. Okay. So how are you going to get that?
Do the same thing we were kind of doing.
You construct a line.
Just the opposite side.
construct a line.
Construct a line. Okay, so I need a line. All right. Oh, sorry, I took it off the screen. Construct a line. Got a line.
Do this one in blood. Okay. Now, get this. You do a perpendicular line right through the middle.
Okay, so we want a perpendicular line right through the middle. Okay, so we need a dot up above, right? I keep moving this down, I'm sorry. So to get a perpendicular line, we need a dot above. Okay, and then, whoops, pardon me. We need to, draw an arc, right? Don't we need to draw an arc across there somewhere?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So let's see, if we go here, oh, dang it. Let me flip this over. I should have made my, oh yeah, that's good. Okay, so I'll go there and there. So if I come down here and make my arc, and come down here and make my arc, are those gonna just line up? Should they? Because I didn't, let's see, do those line up? Oh man. I'm like, I'm just doing what you tell me. Did it work? Okay. And so I'm assuming you want the 90 degree, the perpendicular line? Okay. All right, so now I got a 90.
Don't seem right.
How am I going to get 120 degrees out of this?
So, one sec.
No,
You is.
he's not.
You is. Okay. So now, let's say a 90-degree angle, right? If you start on the right side, and you go from the bottom to the top, that's 90 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
From the top to the bottom on the left side, that's another 90 degrees. So you gotta bisect the left section, and if you bisect that,
So if I bisect the left
it's
section.
it's hard to explain, but it's easy to show.
Okay. Do you remember that I said it's impossible to construct a 30-degree angle with a 90-degree angle?
That's what I was saying.
Because if you bisect a 90, you get a 45. And if I bisect the other 90 and I get a 45, that's still only 90 in between. I don't get a 30 to get 90 plus 120.
Oh yeah.
That's okay, right? It was a good idea.
You got any erase off?
And sometimes we have to walk through it to say like, oh, dang.
Erase. Shut up, Justice. Stop looking at me
So
like
here's a
that.
question. Here's a question. Did we make any 60-degree angles?
Yeah.
Where?
We made a triangle.
When we made the triangle. Do you know how to copy an angle?
Yeah.
Yes. We did that for when we made the parallel lines earlier even. Okay. So can we copy the angles from the,
Yep.
yeah, we can. Okay, so to copy, we really just need a point. So I'm just going to give myself a point out here. All right.
Yep.
And, whoops. So, and maybe I should have a point and a line.
Yep.
Yeah, let's do a point and a line. So let's use my straight edge, and I'll erase that point even. All right, let's go down here. Okay. So we're going to use the triangle because, again, we have, these are 60-degree angles in here. And we know 60 plus 60 is 120. Okay. So if I measure that distance, okay, got my distance. So I can put that on the point here and make an arc. And then I have to come up here somewhere and make another arc to get my 60 degrees. Where do I put my point now? Do I put it here?
No.
Yes, I do.
No.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Right here, because I need to know where this point is. Okay, because if I drew a line from the end where I started to here, I would have a 60-degree angle. Are you with me? Okay, so 60 plus 60 equals 120. So now I'm going to move over to this line, or that point, that 60-degree angle, and I'm going to make another arc further over because I'm adding them together. Where does this line, where does this intersection need to go to? Like, where am I going to draw the line? From here to where? To the point. So now I need to move down to the point and make my point of intersection there. And then that's my line. Or that's my angle. If I draw a line there, that's the line I want to draw. And that is 120 degrees. Because from here to this point would have been 60 and then 60. So this is a 60 plus 60 degrees equals 120 degree angle. So what's another way you could make a 120 degree angle?
You can't.
You can.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
I refuse to believe this.
You should believe. Always believe.
I believe that you will give me extra credit even though I can't get your name.
Well, don't believe that.
Oh, then you can't always believe.
Okay, what if I said this time let's start with a straight line?
We did
Okay,
last time.
and we did last time. But last time we added. What if we subtract this time?
Oh!
What if we subtract this time instead of adding? Yeah. Because how long, what's the degree measure of a straight line? 180. And we have a 60-degree angle still on our compass. I still have the measurements for my equilateral one. What's 180 minus 60? 120. So this time we're going to subtract. So if we have, let's say we do 1 point of intersection there. Okay. And so we go up here and make our point.
How did you get the first line again?
I just drew it. A straight, yeah. Use my straight edge and drew a straight line. Okay. And then I put a point on there, and so I put an arc on the line and up above to get my 60 degrees from there. All right, and then I need to move to the other arc and intersect that one. So I have that point of intersection. And you can barely see, I need to mark it. I should have put a mark here. I can see where my pointer was. It poked a hole. So it's right there. So I just made a 60-degree angle. So this is a 60. So what's this one over here?
20.
Nope.
120.
120 degrees. Because this time I subtracted. I took my straight line and I'm taking the 160 out. Or I'm taking the 60, not the 160. Taking the 60 out, which leaves me 120. So there's two different ways there. You can add two 60s or you can do 180 minus 60. Not a whole lot of difference. All right, then I will let you get started on your homework. Woohoo!